if this is like what we all universally believe in, this higher, greater power, then how does, religion, or what is religion in that sense? How does that tie in, if that's the case? And I know here's a bunch of religious Jewish people talking, but how would that tie into this whole, spiritual side or religion part? How do you define religion in your opinion?
That's a very good question. How do you define religion? So, like you said, obviously, you can say that there's a certain bias that I have because I was brought up a certain way. So, to
Hmm.
an extent, my understanding of religion is that religion is not a separate part of a person. It is a whole
Hmm.
encompassing being and not necessarily
Hmm.
something that we get to choose. Religion
Hmm.
is a birthright, at least in the form of Judaism. We believe it to be a birthright. Um, and that in Islam, it's also a birthright. Um, and in Christianity, it might be different. I don't know. But at least from my general understanding, religion is essentially a birthright, something you're born into. And I think most people are born into some form of religion, at least
Hmm.
since before this past 50 years, let's say. And I think that's our most of our understanding of religion. If someone accepts on themselves a certain religion, I think that's a pretty large undertaking. Nobody would
Hmm.
disagree that it's just like, I just want to be Jewish or Christian or whatever. It's a pretty big commitment to do that. And it really takes up a whole person's space and personality. For many
Hmm.
people, it can be tough and they can disavow or push away the religion because, hey, this is a big piece to hold. I don't know if I can handle that.
Hmm.
I don't know if I can hold that. And that's something that we could totally respect, but it is definitely something that is one and whole with the human being in any religion.
Hmm.
That's my yammer.
Yeah, but Jeremy, you said something today about how is religion your is it your right or your responsibility or something like that, right?
Right. It's an article that I had to write
Right.
for my rabbinical degree, the dissertation for that. Is Judaism a religious responsibility, or a spiritual
Right.
privilege? Um, so that is something, we spoke about in the podcast. Um, but it does tie into what Tzvi is saying here, that for the most part, the overall general thing, most people are born into some form of religion or belief system, or whatever it may be. And then as they grow and as they are self-discovering, some will stay, some will be more, religious than others, or however. um, and each have their own personal journey with that understanding or that belief. And I really love what Gracie, one of her comments here. I just want to bring it up, and I'd love to hear, your thoughts about it. I really, really, really want to highlight this one, because this one's really important, where Gracie does not feel that she, belongs to a religion per se. Rather, she likes what you said, having that relationship with God, and she believes that that relationship is more important than this quote unquote religion, I guess. How would you respond to that? Because I think that is a lot of people, they feel that way.
Right.
I personally, I feel that way too. I would love to hear your take on that, because this is really important.
I think it's spot on. Honestly, it's not our duty to be a part of any group or anything really, any community. That's not what makes a person religious, or at least from a Judaism perspective. I don't think that is what makes someone religious. Our connection with God directly is all that matters. If you lived in a deserted island, you didn't have a community, does that make you not
Mm,
religious? No, it's
right,
irrelevant. It doesn't make a difference. So, as long as you are there listening and hearing God, and you are heard and listened to as well, it's a relationship, exactly how it is, and that's really what it's about. It's about your connection to this higher power. That's
mm,
about it. All the other pieces are artifacts and add-ons and things that can make it better, can spice it up. It's a bouquet of flowers, it's a box of chocolates, but it's not,
right.
it's not the
True.
core.
Wow.